Hi, I'm Arya and welcome back to the video. So in my first part of this video, I talked about the three kind of mindsets that are holding you and what would be the solution of it. The another alternative mindset that was recommended by Anna Laura de Kampf, she said about this mindset called experimental mindset. If you really haven't seen what are the three kind of mindsets out there, go check my that video out first and then we can talk about today's video. So today's video is going to be all on experimental mindset. What is experimental mindset? So in the same dimensions of curiosity and ambition that I'm going to tell you about, that is how we measure it. So the first is that if you have high ambition and if you have high curiosity, that would really be quoted as experimental mindset. Okay. Now the thing is, how can you really tap into this experimental mindset? The experimental mindset I really felt that Anne was really talking about was really related to something like a research project, right? When you are doing your research project or any sort of thesis or any dissertation, I feel that at that time you are not leading yourself to, okay, I really want to prove my hypothesis right. You don't really go with that, right? You are starting with this idea that you really don't know the null hypothesis. You really don't know what is the relationship between these two variables, and let's see what is the data comes, and according to the data I will have the results, right? So for experimental mindset, first you need to really sit with yourself and see what do you really want to try it out. And see, if you don't have any goals in your head and if you really don't know what are you going to do, sit and observe for some time. And I'm not just saying you have to decide this in one go. You have certain ideas in your mind that, okay, I want to try this, I want to try that. It could be just any creativity outlet, just like what I want to try. I really want to try that if doing this thing of creativity outlet through YouTube really works well for me or not. So it just could be you have a tiny idea in your head. I think all of us just know we have so many ideas in our head, we just don't know that if it's going to be worth it or not, and sometimes we have our limitations of energy and time. So first I would really want you to sit down with yourself and see that do you really want to do this or do you really not want to do that. So first try it out, the trial method it is. So for, let's say for example, we are taking one analogy and that is with YouTube. Okay, so you pick up any one thing or maybe 2 or 3 projects that you take, and then after that you have specified yourself a time limit that this is the amount of time on which I'm going to dedicate it. So for me it's going to be for 1 year. For you it could be 6 months, it could be for you some few months or just few weeks or few days. And for example, for me I really want to try different sorts of exercises and like going to gym and trying different fitness workouts. So I'm going to try that out for a few weeks, that's it. They are not going to be for a full year. So then once you decide it, then what you're going to do is, then you are really going to do those activities with your full heart and just going to focus in those projects. And once you focus on those projects, you don't focus with this lens, okay, I have to get successful in this. No, you focus with zero expectations of outcome and only think about that you're like a researcher. You're just observing your own actions and what you're doing and how it's gonna help you or not. So there are 2 aspects of success and failure if it's going to work out for you. The workout thing has 2 things. First is the internal attitude, the internal emotions. So while you are doing all those activities, are you really feeling good or are you just feeling this dread that I don't want to do it? There are certain things that I feel absolutely dreadful with doing those things. Even though they might bring me some financially good outcomes, I don't want to do it. For me, it's coding. A lot of people told me, you should try coding. There's a lot of scope in coding, and I do agree. The people have this marketability in some certain skills. There are certain skills that they are definitely financially well. But whenever I tried coding, I just couldn't do it. The dread that came just when I was doing coding, it was such insane. The dread that came with me whenever I used to sit down for coding, it was insane for me. So I couldn't do coding at all. So that is what it is. And then finally I was like, okay, this is not gonna work for me. Just left it. I tried and tried and tried. I tried for a few weeks and then literally did not work well for me. Okay. The same goes well with you. Internally, how do you feel? Externally, it might bring you some success. You might get certain gigs, you might get certain projects, you might get a very good job. But if you're not really happy and you don't feel fulfillment in doing those activities, I don't think so you should really go ahead with it. Because when it comes to success, it might be successful externally. That is the second aspect, the second outlet. That it is true that you need to do certain kind of things, that if you really want it to be worked out for you externally. If it means for you that externally this thing should work for me, it could be getting fame, it could be getting any power, or it could be getting financially being well or stable. It's completely fine to have those kind of expectations with yourself. So let's see if it really works well for you or not. So that is how you lead yourself and your goal through experiments. So that is how you start. And then after the time period is over, now you have recorded all such things, that it sort of brought you external success. You are good enough with it, you are financially stable with it. But when it comes to internal happiness, you're not. And that is where you really now need to think about and ponder that should you continue with it or not. That is where experiments and habits differ. Experiments is like, first let me try if it works well for me. And habits are just like the routine activities that you are doing without thinking. So if you want to create an habit of, let's say, going to gym for 1 hour, I feel you cannot really achieve that habit until and unless you know that going to gym for 1 hour is going to be helpful for you or not. Sometimes it's not viable for people to go to gym because their job demands so much from them. So for them, sometimes it's like, okay, we can do our exercise at home itself. If it works well for you, go for it. If it does not work for you, you have absolute right to discard. You don't let the productivity gurus and your idols and any person that you look up to really make you question that, okay, this thing I have to follow because the person who inspired me is doing it. No, I feel that you are a unique person and your situations are very unique. So first, please try. If it work it out for you, then only go for it. It's like no one size fits all. And that's something that we all need to really understand in this age of social media, when hustle culture is really glamorized, not talking to people is glamorized, lock-in, that is glamorized a lot. And that is where I feel that we should really look towards when we are doing an experimental mindset. The last thing that I really want to talk about is, how does it work well for you and how does it not? So in this kind of mindset that I really like is about seeing your failures as data points, not as setbacks. Your failure here, they are those kind of data points that really help you to explore what's something that you can do better, or is it something to worth pursuing to, or is it something that I personally really need to go for, or I should just discard it. It's upon you. The thing is, in this kind of mindset, you befriend uncertainty, because now you know that your failures are just data points for you. For you, this kind of experiment will be like, okay, I am with my uncertainty. It's like befriending your uncertainty. The uncertainty around you, you don't know it's gonna work well for you, no, right? But because you know it's an experiment, and experiments are supposed to have a 50-50% chance of winning and losing, which actually somewhere or the other goals also have. We have our goals if we're working hard for it, and it also has this 50-50 success failure rate, right? But our dread with goals so much than the experiments. And I feel that once you have that kind of dread that is a little bit lower, that kind of thing where you are not against uncertainty, but with the uncertainty, you are befriending your uncertainty. At that time, I feel you can work really hard because you are really immersed in the present and you are really immersed in the kind of process. And the thing is, I'm not saying that you won't have any stressful problems or you won't have any issues. You will have issues. Issues are going to be there, and issues are going to be a part of your life. And that's inevitable. You will have the problems which you will have difficulty in coping with. But the thing comes is, you should cope with it in a healthy manner. In a manner where you somewhere or the other do a negotiation with that uncertainty. You really feel your emotions, you understand yourself, and then you move forward. Now, there's one thing that I don't really agree with. This tiny experiment is the way of living freely in this goal obsessed world. And let me just tell you, it is a privilege to say that, because I feel that people who are like, even I'm privileged in some sort as compared to others, but when I look at some other people, they are privileged in comparison to me. Okay, so when it comes to that, we really need to acknowledge what are our privileges, and especially in a culture like India, which is broadly collectivist culture, you really have some huge responsibilities. You have responsibilities of your family, and you might have those expectations from your family where you have to reach a certain goal at a certain age. You might have the societal pressure, the relative pressure. I completely understand that. So that's why I don't really want you to not to be obsessed with your goals. I really want you to be obsessed with your goals if you are obsessed with your goals. And if you really want to be obsessed with your goals, I'm completely fine with that as well. I'm completely fine when you want to cut off some sort of people out there and be like, okay, I really want to focus. I do understand that completely. The only thing that I don't agree is the lock-in kind of mindset that I already talked about, that just cutting off everyone. I don't really agree with that. But yeah, I do understand that you need to cut off some connections. I do understand all of it. And I also understand that in this sort of culture, you, no matter how, you are forced to really be obsessed with your goals and to really think about, okay, what am I gonna do with a career. And this is especially, the pressure is doubled when you are a woman and you really have to prove your own family and a society that you are capable to really live an independent life. And I do understand that. And again, some people won't agree with me, like, where does this happen? Where does the women have to prove themselves? They have to. There are still certain sections of society where you still have to prove your worth to your family members, to the society, and I completely understand those pressures. That's why I feel that when you are tapping into this experimental zone, just try to reframe it. I'm not asking you to not be obsessed with your goals. Be obsessed with your goals. But just reframe goal with experiment, with failures as data points. Because once you do that, the dread of self-doubt will certainly not go at all, will certainly reduce. That is my whole point of this whole thing that I shared about. And that is for the video today. If you really want to know about any other more things, and if you really want to have a discussion with me on the same, I'm ready to do that. And yeah, thank you so much for staying till the end, and bye bye.